What's happening, y'all? In this particular video, we're going to be discussing wants versus needs. Let me say that again for y'all. Wants versus needs.
The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer.
What's happening, y'all? In this particular video, we're going to be discussing wants versus needs. Let me say that again for y'all. Wants versus needs. Now, this is something that hindered me in the beginning when I first started my first business and my second business. Now, my second business, like I told y'all, man, it generated over $100,000 in less than a few months. And I ain't know what I was doing at all. So that's why I tell y'all, if I can start a business and generate some real capital, anybody can. I mean, anybody can. I grew up in a small little community, y'all, way off in the country in a trailer house. I had my grandmother lived on the other street. I had my uncle and them live, and we had a little community. We had horses, pigs, cows. My grandfather planted sugar cane, and that's the kind of life I live in a little old 2-bedroom trailer house. Wasn't no city. We couldn't just walk over there and go to the print, go get stuff printed, copies made, none of that stuff. Go get material. We had to drive far to get anything if we wanted. There wasn't no internet. So if I could do it with very little resources, anybody can. But there are things that you must do that I learned down the road that you must do in order to be successful. And my wants is the one thing that helped me back in the beginning. It helped me back in the beginning because I just didn't realize that you had to be disciplined when it came to wants versus your needs. And let me tell you something. If you do get a business started and you got a lot of wants, 9 times out of 10, you're going to run that thing in the ground. You're going to run it in the ground. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind that you will literally run your business in the ground because of your wants. And see, when I started, that's exactly what started happening to both of my business until I got a rein on it. And later on, I really realized that, hey, you really got to cut back on your wants. Now, I didn't want a whole lot of stuff, like big stuff. It was just the little frivolous stuff, the stuff that basically meaningless stuff, to be honest with you. A lot of meaningless stuff that helped my business back. Now, I could have elevated it and grew it much quicker, but it was the wants that I had that helped me back. And I'll be honest with you. You just got to be disciplined, and you're going to have to sacrifice something. You're going to have to sacrifice something when it comes to when you're building a business. Now, there's two kind of wants, though. You can want stuff in the business, and you can want stuff in your personal life. For instance, when people first start a business, they think I got to have an office, I got to have the phones, I got to have this. I got to have the car. I got to get some new computers, some new equipment, all that stuff. See, that's the stuff you got to really sit down and think about. Do I really need this? Or is this a want? Can I make do with what I got? Or is this a want? See, when I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't have no equipment. I had my phone. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to start with this. I went and bought me a little cheap tripod and I started filming. And see, if this would have been me 10 years ago, then guess what? I would have bought all kind of lights, all kind of this, all kind of that, new computer, a new camera, all that stuff. And to be honest with you, sometimes it's better to get started with a business with no money. Because when you have the money, a lot of times, when you're your first time business owner, most of the time you're going to waste the money. You're going to buy a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need. You're going to start accumulating overhead. You're going to start messing with your credit. Even if you start building your business credit, you're going to start to overextend your credit on stuff that you don't need, that's not particularly conducive to you bringing in any kind of income. That's what you're going to do. And let's talk about your personal life. Eating out, buying all kind of different kind of clothes, going vacationing, buying new cars. And I tell you what, spending money on stuff you just can't see. You just don't know. You wake up one day, man, I spent $200 and I don't even see what I spent it on. Chasing behind women is another thing. That's going to be your biggest expense right there. If you that type of person. Or if you a lady, traveling all over the place with different guys. Or if it's not a different guy, the same guy, and y'all just ripping and running up and down the road. That's going to eat into a lot of your cash. Nails, hair, all that stuff. It adds up when you're talking about business. And reason why you want to hold on to a lot of that money is that business is so up and down. The market can go any way at any time. And then what you going to do when you can't meet payroll? What you going to do when you can't re-up on supplies? What you going to do when you need to get out there and you need to buy some promotional time, buy some ads? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when the market is down, when there's no money coming in and you still got bills to pay? You got to have that money for a rainy day and reinvest it back into the company. That's how, and really you got to get into the long game mindset. It's the long game. You got to believe what you're doing is going to be successful. Truly believe what you're doing is going to be a success. And then just wait for the process. Wait for things to take place. And once you do that, everything will start to unfold. Everybody want to jump out there and they want to start in a couple of months, 6 months, they don't see nothing happening, then bam. Man, I need to change this here, man. I need to do something else. But you don't give your ideas time enough to work. You don't do it. You don't give your ideas time enough to work before you change it up. But definitely, you need to put you need to get a plan put in place in order to discipline yourself when it comes to wants. And my suggestion is get you a pen, piece of paper, or wherever you keep on your phone, wherever, make a list of your wants that take up the things that you want the most, that you buy the most, that you could do without. And I'm talking about truly do without. I don't want you to deprive yourself from a decent meal every once in a while, maybe once in a week. But every day, all the time, reaping and running up and down the road all the time, man, that ain't finna work. They ain't gonna work in business unless you ripping up and down the road doing business. Then that's the only way. But you need to really, really, really sit down and make a list. And I'm big on lists, because lists, it gets it out of your head and it puts it on paper and it does something to your subconscious. It starts your subconscious to work, and so it can see. You can see where you at. You can see what you're doing. And then you start to narrow it down and cut down here, cut down there. And you'll see where you start to save. That way you can reinvest. That way you'll have some money saved. That way you can help your company grow. That way, if you get in a bind some kind of way, fall on hard time, your business just don't go down and you have to shut it down or start all back over. Or doing something else, or start doing something else. You can just constantly focus on your business. When a hard time hit, you can say, okay, I got this in the bank. I can do this. Then I survive some more time to give me some leeway. Those are the intangible things. See, I can teach you X's and O's easy. How to get ID number, LLC, basic things, bank accounts, how to build your business credit, how to even build your personal credit. All that stuff I can teach in business. How the middleman contracts, all that stuff. I'm not no financial advisor, but I done it before, so I have experience in all those different areas. But the hardest thing people can't get over are the intangible things. The discipline, the things you need to have discipline in. Those are the things people can't get over. That's what hold you back the most. But anyway, y'all, I want y'all to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, fam, y'all have a good day. Peace.